Hello everybody, my name is Cogline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today, in this one, it's going to be another deck profile video, and in this one, it's going to be on branded Tearlament. Yes, one of the new decks in the format, thanks to the release of Power of the Elements, and looking to be a strong deck as well. Everyone knows that Despia is very good by itself. I feel like with the Tearlament stuff, it gives it so much more stuff to go along. It. So yes, this is one of the new decks you can play with the new Tearlament stuff. So without further ado, let's get straight into the deck profile, shall we? Again, this deck is basically just trying to fusion summon so many times. We are playing 15 cards in fusion cards in the extra deck, so makes sense. So starting off with our Tearlament cards, we're playing 3 Sheeran. Again, this is just a nice extender, being able to special send a monster from your hand to the graveyard, then mill 3, being able to turn on your Tearlaments and stuff like that is always very nice. Getting the mills as well can sometimes be nice because you are playing some targets for those mills, but the mills aren't as great as in other decks it could be in. But you're still playing 3 of because it's still just a great extender to have in the deck. We are playing 3 Tearlament merely. Again, very good, just to, as if you don't need your normal summon, just to be able to normal, then mill 3, hopefully to hit a Tearlament and just get your plays going and stuff like that. Very good card. And also, all the Tearlaments have an effect where if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, it can fusion summon from the graveyard, field, or hand, and by putting the cards onto the bottom of the deck, including itself. So it can be able to fusion summon basically when it's sent to the graveyard, which is very, very nice. And then we're playing 3 Hovens. Again, it's also just a hand trap as well for your opponent's turn. Activate this special mill 3 when your opponent activates a monster effect on field. But again, also has that effect in graveyard where you can fusion summon as well. So basically your Tearlaments that can fusion summon ones you want to send to the graveyard. We are playing 2 Tearlament Rhino Heart. Now this, I know some people don't like, maybe some people probably cut this down to 1. I feel like I really do like Rhino Heart because it is a really good normal summon, especially in this deck where sometimes you don't actually have a normal summon, so you want a normal summon this card. If you don't know what this does, when it's normal or special summon, you can just dump a Tearlament from your deck to the graveyard, triggering the effects to start your fusion summoning going. And then it doesn't have the same effect as all the Tearlaments when it's sent to the graveyard, and that's the reason why people aren't playing this as highly as all the other ones are, because when it's sent to the graveyard, you can basically just special summon it from the graveyard and then send a Tearlament card from your deck or from your hand to the graveyard. Now, that's not always live sometimes, because sometimes you just don't have a Tearlament in your hand, so I can see why people don't like playing this at more than just a 1 of, but I feel like that top effect when it's normal or special summon being able to foolish is just too good. I can see why the bottom effect, not being able to fusion summon with this card does suck, but again, I feel like it's just too good not to play in this deck. So that's all for your Tearlament cards. Now on to your typical Despia stuff, but before that, we are also playing King of the Swamp. This is basically your new patchwork engine in this deck. The reason why you're playing this over Patchwork is because it's able to substitute itself for any one monster that, or any fusion monster that specifically lists one monster in its card text. So being able to do that, especially in a deck that lists a lot of the Fallen of Albaz stuff, really does work. And being able to mill this and stuff like that, being Tearlaments, being able to put it back into deck as well works. So having this in graveyard works with the Tearlaments and stuff, and also can just search you Poly, which is the reason why you were playing the Patchwork engine in the first place, to get you into Poly and stuff like that. This gets you into Poly as well, and still has that same upside, being able to replace itself for one of the fusion materials. So very, very nice. You are playing 3 of it. It's an expensive card right now, though. But this card is just very, very good and does synergize well with your Tearlament stuff, being an aqua water monster as well. Now on to the actual Despia branded stuff. We're playing 2 Fallen of Albaz. Some people might be playing this at 1. I feel like 2 is just too good right now. I feel like 3 might be a little too much. 1 might be a little too low. I feel like 2 is just enough, just so you have your branded fusion always live as well, just in case they negate your first Lebellion, you always have the second one. Now in this deck, you do have ways to shuffle back Fallen, so it doesn't really come up that much having both Fallens, but it does come up, I think, enough where you do want to play 2 Fallen. Also just a good going second card to waste your normal summon on as well. We're playing 2 Aluber the Jester of Despia. Again, this is a really good normal summon, but in this deck, you're contending your normal summon with something like a Rhino Heart or a Merely. So, you know, having the Aluber is nice, but you do have the branded opening to special summon this out from the deck and just being able to search a branded spell trap, which is usually going to be your branded fusion. But again, just always nice to have in the deck. But I think at 2 is fine. Thanks, you are playing the branded opening in this deck. And your Terra Elements kind of contending your normal summon as well. Again, it's perfectly fine to play this at 2. We're playing 1 Despian Tragedy. Now, this is weird. We're playing the Tragedy ad-lib and a branded in red. The reason why I'm doing that, because I feel like the branded red is just too good not to play this. Having this during your opponent's turn is always nice. So I just want to have branded in red live. So I am playing a Tragedy to search either ad-lib or an Aluber. And then, you know, just too good, especially since you're milling a lot with the Terra Elements. You know, if you mill a Tragedy, it does also trigger its effect in Graveyard. But I'm just playing this as one of the either send off branded fusion if you already have your Terra Elements going, or if you like drew it and you have a branded opening as well. And then Adlib, really just because you're playing the branded in red to kind of recur your fusions and stuff like that as well. But that's it for your Fallen and Aluber package here. And then we're just playing 1 Shadal Beast. This is just so you have Winda, and also when it's sent to the graveyard, you get a free draw 1 card as well. I don't really want to play Squamata. You have branded fusion. You can just dump this if you really want to get to Winda, so it's perfectly fine just to play this as a one of in this deck. Now on to the spells. We're playing 3 of the new, oh my god, how the hell do you actually pronounce this? I've always called it the Terra Element field spell, but it's called Primeval Planet Parallel. I'm not going to try that. Basically the Terra Element field spell, being able to Rhoda a Terra Element monster from your deck to your hand, but it also gains 500 attack to all fusions and Terra monsters you control. And then when a Terra Element is shuffled back from your graveyard or field back into your deck or extra deck, you can target 1 monster you're on the field and destroy it. Being able to have a disruption as well is very nice with your Terra Elements and stuff. Field spell is very insane in this deck. We are playing 3 branded opening. Very, very good, especially in this deck. Not only is it special summoning your Aluber, but it's also proccing your Terra Elements effect, since branded opening does discard for the effect. It's also just a very nice card to play. You know, if you're setting something off of like the Albion during your end phase, you can set the branded red, but branded opening always works if you already have the Terra Element in your hand to have an interruption during your opponent's turn as well. We're playing the 3 branded fusion because branded fusion is kind of broken. It literally says mill Fallen and whatever fucking card you want, because that's just how good that this card is. With the Fallen stuff, basically you can mill your Terra Elements now and proc their effects, but you can also mill the Tragedy to get the ad-lib, or you can mill the Shadal Beast to get a draw 1. You have multiple options in the deck with branded fusion. Now for your just going second cards, we're playing 3 Dark Ruler No More. Just super impactful in this current meta right now. Dark Ruler, very, very good. Feel like it is better than Droplet right now. And then we're playing 3 Super Poly because Super Poly is fucking insane. Really, really good card to play. Yeah, there's really nothing else to say about that. Super Poly, fucking insane card. We're playing 2 Poly to go along with our King of the Swamp engine here. You're still only playing 2 like you're playing with the Patchwork engine. Playing the 1 Branded Red, as I did mention, Branded Red, I feel like it's just too good. Maybe you don't play 2 of, but I feel like the 1 of you do want to see in your deck. You're playing 1 Instant Fusion because you can summon the Kitalos from your extra deck with this and trigger its effect. So very, very nice off the Instant Fusion. We're playing Foolish, not only just because of Tragedy can trigger its effect, or Shadal Beast can trigger its effect. Well, any of the Terra Elements can trigger its effect as well, or even you send a King of the Swamp and maybe get into a different play with King of the Swamp as well. We're playing just the 1 of Terra Element Trap as well. We're playing the Book of Moon one. Again, I feel like the traps are very good, but they're just not good in this deck specifically. So you're just playing the Book of Moon just so you can fusion summon during your opponent's turn, which is very, very nice because it can set Book of Moons and then sends a Terra Element from deck to grave. Now, the Book of Moon can come up depending on what the matchup is, but most likely if you're versing like another Terra Element player, it's not really going to be that great. The other 2 traps are nice, but this gets you the guarantee going to fusion summon for sure. That is it for the entire main deck. Now on to the extra deck portion of this deck. We're playing 2 Tearlament Kitalos. This card is very, very good. All it requires is 1 Tearlament monster or one Aqua monster. So basically any of Tearlaments plus themselves or even the King of the Swamp works as well. Also can be summoned off the instant fusion. When it's special summon, you can just take a Tearlament card, either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So it's a Rhoda and or Foolish Burial, depending on what you want to do. And then you can target 1 monster you control, special summon 1 Tearlament monster from your hand or graveyard, then send that monster to the graveyard, which is very, very nice because usually targeting itself to special summon a Tearlament, and then this gets a mill 5 when it is sent to the graveyard by a card effect. So it's a very, very good thing that you want to have in your deck. You definitely want to play 2 of. This card is just fucking insane for the Tearlament deck. Definitely want to play 2 of. We're playing 1 of the Kaleido Heart, the big boy for the Tearlaments. Again, it comes up since you are playing the Rhino Heart and the King of the Swamps, being able to just, when it's on special, being able to shuffle opponent's monster from, shuffle opponent's card from the field, which is very, very nice. And then when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, and also just special summon itself out and then Foolish Tearlament, which is very, very insane as well, being able to proc its own effect and then being able to fusion summon as well. The only downside is you cannot use this card for fusion material, which makes sense considering how powerful the card is. Very, very good card. If you just want to play 1 of, you don't really need to play more than that though. We're playing the Window because you are playing the Shaddoll Beast. You are playing Invoke Caligula because you are playing the King of the Swamp, so it does come up where you can shuffle your Tearlaments in the King of the Swamp to make an Invoke Caligula, being able just to prevent your opponent from activating only 1 monster effect per turn, and each player can only attack with one monster during the battle phase as well. And you have ways to get it off the field as well, just with like something like a generic poly or something like that. I feel like the deck is very, this card is very good, and it does come up where you do want to play it. We're playing just the 1 Despian Corderus. You're not playing the Masquerades or anything like that. I feel like this is the only one you do want to have in your deck. Again, just being able to make everything to 0 attack on your opponent's field is nice. And then being able to special summon a Fallen or a Despia monster when it leaves the field by an opponent's card effect is also very nice as well. And you do want to have that on rotation, but that's the only like Despian extra deck you are playing in this. We're playing 2 Libellion, the Searing Dragon, for your branded fusion target. I feel like the recursion is very nice, so you do want to play 2 of in this deck. We're only playing the 1 Mirror Jade and the 1 Albion. Mirror Jade, again, just a very powerful card. I do want to play this at 2, but the extra deck is kind of tight here. But yes, Mirror Jade being an absolute stud. Everyone knows what this card can do, and Libellion can shuffle the Mirror Jade back to special summon itself back out. Again, that's why I'm playing 2 Libellion and then just the 1 Mirror Jade. And then we're playing the 1 Albion. You don't really have a target in your deck to make this. You don't have a single light target. So just being able to fusion summon this, or you can't fusion summon this, so just being able to summon this off Mirror Jade to get you the recursions in your branded spell traps is better than that. So just playing the 1 of is nice. Again, you can always just reoccur with either the Libellion or even your Tearlaments work as well, since it is a dark monster. You're playing just the 1 Chimera. Again, it can be summoned off branded in red, and also you have the poly as well, and you have ways to reoccur with Tearlaments as well. So playing 1 is just nice. Super poly targets being Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Just 2 darks on the field, which is nice. Predaplant Dragus Depelio is also a super poly target, but can also be summoned off the Tearlament cards as well, so you do remember that as well. And then the new Fusion Garura Wings of Resident Life is also just an insane super poly target, especially against something like Splight that ends on like a red and an elf and stuff like that, and you do want to have the super poly specifically for that. So yeah, that is it for the entire extra deck. The side deck can be whatever you want. This is an old side deck from the old Despia deck I took to nationals and took to regionals, and got my national invite with. But I think mandatory. I think you do need to play cross out with the D barrier because you are playing 15 fusion monsters. So D barrier does hurt you a lot. So you do want to play that cross out with the D barrier without a doubt. So so that's it for the entire deck. Now let's get into some combos with the deck. Alrighty, now on to the combo portion of the video. This is just to show you what the deck can do. So we're going to assume like we're playing against no negations just to show what it can do. So we actually have to think of draw phase here since we do have the branded opening, and we will trigger it because, you know, discarding Beast for the effect is always very nice to get that draw 1 into rotation. So we'll go ahead and special summon out the Luber. We'll go a Luber Chainlink 1, Beast Chainlink 2 here. So we'll get the free draw. Another Branded Fusion. Doesn't really do anything for me. So we'll go ahead and actually get red here. Then we'll go ahead and go to main phase. We'll go ahead and actually just start off with Branded Fusion because I feel like the Rhino Heart normal summon, saving that and actually getting a window is probably better to save that. So we'll go Branded Fusion and go ahead and pitching, we have to pitch a Fallen for sure. Pitch Fallen, and we actually pitch Tragedy here. Since we do have red, we can actually get Ad Libitum into rotation. So we'll go ahead and special Lubellion. We'll go Lubellion effect, Chainlink 1, we'll discard, I guess the second Branded Fusion doesn't do anything. And Chainlink 2 Tragedy here, so we'll go ahead and search the Ad Libitum first. So add you to him. And then we'll shuffle, not that, my bad, that's not what I'm going to shuffle back. Shuffle back the Fallen and put this back into the extra deck. Make ourselves a Mirror Jade here. And then we'll shuffle up the deck here. And then we'll go ahead and now we'll know summon the Rhino Heart. Trigger its effect. And we'll go ahead and Foolish. Doesn't matter what Terra element it is. It, again, doesn't really matter. We'll go ahead and send Hoffins here. We'll go Hoffins effect. We can get Kit into rotation. Nah, that's better. So we'll get Hoffins and Rhino Heart. Go ahead and special summon out. Kit will go Kit effect to, we can add here, but I'd rather Foolish. So we'll just Foolish Sharon, I guess it works. And then now we'll do Sharon effect. We'll go ahead and bottom this and the Shaddoll Beast to go ahead and special summon out that window. Now we don't have any other play here. I think that's really all we need to do here. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. So we'll go ahead and set one, and we'll set a second one. We'll pass on that. Now, we do have a strong board here. We have the window that is preventing our opponents from special summoning more than once. We have the Mirror Jade to banish to protect as well. Then we also have this Branded in red that can get us into a Chimera play. And then we also have a Super Poly, which is very nice because we actually use our kit. We can get a Milfalve, hopefully get into a Terra Element play there. And then, get more Fusion Summoning, get, maybe even a Dragon's Topelios into rotation and stuff like that. This is a very, very good board, I would think. So, yeah, that is it for the combo portion. So, yeah, that's it for the entire video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next time. Goodbye.